Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 6 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Thank you for being here. The verdict is in. A Spokane County jury has found a Cheney man guilty of murdering his wife in 2018 by poisoning her ice cream.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was in the courtroom as the verdict was handed down. She joins us now with what family members had to say about the guilty verdict.
Now, when the judge read the verdict, you could feel the shock in the courtroom. In fact, I saw David Pettis slump down in disbelief. Now, while some family members are relieved by the jury's decision, others are in disbelief.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Mr. David LaRue Pettis, guilty of the crime of premeditated murder in the first degree as charged.
After 3 days of deliberation, a Spokane County jury found David Pettis guilty of killing his wife, Peggy. He did this by lacing her ice cream with lethal amounts of prescription drugs.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, it is.
Is this the verdict of this jury?
Yes, it is.
The niece of the victim, Peggy Pettis, spoke with us after the verdict was read. Katrina Mabe says she and her family felt relief with the jury's decision, but she told me no matter what the outcome would have been, it was not going to be easy for her family.
This is a very rough time for our family. Dave was a part of our family for 35 years. We are relieved that there's a resolution, and we hope that our family can now go forward with healing.
Right after the judge left the courtroom, Pettis' daughter Elizabeth Culp rushed to hug her father.
Just that he loves me and to direct me to who I needed to be with to help.
She insists Pettis is not guilty of murdering her mother. She believes this because she lived with her parents and claims she saw her mother take hydrocodone on the weekends.
I feel awful. I feel even more awful than I did before. Because I know that my dad didn't kill her, and it certainly wasn't premeditated.
Pettis is now in custody at Spokane County Jail tonight, and his sentencing is set for January 12th. Reporting from the Spokane County Courthouse, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Protesters are back outside Spokane City Hall demanding the city open more shelter space.
A similar protest took place back in 2018 where police cleared out the camp and arrested 2 people. This time about 70 tents are set up near City Hall. According to the advocacy group Jules Helping Hands, the city scrambles every year to open a warming shelter when temperatures drop, despite having plenty of money to do so. So organizer Julie Garcia says they can no longer watch people suffer because of what she calls the city's inaction.
These guys are dying out here. We are not sure how to address this. We've tried doing it every means necessary. We've sent emails, we've come down here, we've talked to people, but no one seems to pay attention until they actually have to see homelessness.
In the meantime, the city of Spokane says the shelter system isn't full right now. In fact, over the past 3 nights, the city says 90 to 100 beds have gone unused and are available at those low barrier shelters. City leaders say they will continue to monitor the situation, though, to ensure the health and safety of everyone and also to maintain access to nearby businesses.
One man's in custody after police say he shot at his former boss before getting into a lengthy standoff with Spokane Valley deputies. It all started at around 4:30 this morning when 41-year-old Donald Weber showed up at his former boss's home and started yelling. Deputies say Weber eventually shot through the door and eventually took off. His former boss told police he may have been under the influence of drugs. Police eventually caught up with Weber at his home on North Vista. A SWAT team and hostage negotiators were out there for hours today trying to get him to surrender. Weber has been booked now into the jail for second-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm.
We'll call it being at the right place at the right time. Vista workers worked with city firefighters today to rescue an elderly man from the Spokane River. It was early this morning. Those Vista workers first spotted him after hearing his cries for help. They did manage to get a flotation device out to him just to keep him from going under until rescuers could arrive. Once those crews got him pulled to safety, they say he was hypothermic, so they rushed him to the hospital. It's unclear how he got in the water in the first place.
This is a really painful reminder to every backcountry skier about how important it is, to always be taking care.
1 person died, 5 more were rescued after an avalanche on Crystal Mountain Saturday morning. It's unclear if the rescued skier had any injuries. According to the Pierce County Sheriff's Department, 6 skiers were swept up in an avalanche at Silver Basin in the backcountry ski area. Crystal Mountain Resort says the area the skiers were in was closed due to a storm moving in. No avalanche mitigation was done in that area. Let's talk weather. Meanwhile, I'm here at home. It's feeling a bit more like December now. A few flurries, but mostly just those cold temperatures.
Yeah, we've been kind of waiting for the snow. Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry is joining us now. He's going to let us know when we will finally start to see some of those snowflakes, it sounds like. Tom?
Well, we're getting rain right now, and we'll probably see maybe a little bit of light snow in the overnight hours when it'll be that wet kind of snow. Shouldn't stick around long at all. Then we've got a better chance of snow arriving later this week. There's a look at the winter weather advisory. Whereas we get mostly a rain event, it should be snow above the 3,000-foot level. That's why that winter weather advisory in effect everywhere you see shaded in blue across portions of North Idaho and western Montana. Also that winter weather advisory up in north central Washington. That could be valley snow, 1 to 3 inches of valley snow. You see, we're well above freezing. When we last had our broadcast during our 5 p.m. newscast, we were at 36 degrees. Heck, we're at 37 now. All that rain is moving up from the south. And look at how heavy it is falling along the the Oregon and Washington border where you see those reds and yellows. That's just rain falling. Having said that, in the higher elevations of the Blue Mountains, I-84 was closed at times today in those areas of northeastern Oregon simply because of the snow falling, lots of snow falling at those higher elevations. Still snowing to the north of the Spokane area. We'll look for an overnight low of 30, 36 the expected high on Tuesday. Should be a dry day. We'll look for a few more snow showers Thursday and a much better chance of moderate accumulations of snowfall Friday night into Saturday, and it's not going to melt as daytime highs on Sunday barely get above freezing. I'll talk more about that, snow, and some very cold temperatures. Your 10-day forecast is next.
Rapid growth here in the Spokane area has meant an ongoing housing crisis across the region. And today in our ongoing Boomtown series, we're hearing from a group of real estate experts offering up some solutions.
KREM 2's Janelle Finch shares what the counselors of real estate say the city needs to do to create more affordable housing.
The counselors of real estate met today to talk about Spokane's housing situation and action steps to better it. One of their recommendations was to take vacant lots downtown and convert them into apartment buildings, much like the Black Building back in May. The counselors of real estate put out its report on action steps to increase Spokane's housing supply. Real estate experts from across the country came together to discuss housing recommendations for the city. One of those recommendations is more multi-family housing options.
We did notice that Spokane is a city of single-family houses. That's very predominant.
This would address missing middle households, or essentially house-scale buildings with multiple units. According to the real estate report, only 0.5% of new housing built in Spokane over the last decade was attached housing. This would be considered duplexes or townhomes. Another concern is affordability.
The median income of Spokane has not risen along with, the housing crisis.
Realtor.com put Spokane at number 3 on its list for top housing markets of 2022. It also said the median price for a Spokane home is $420,000. For young families looking to make the move to Spokane, this can be too much. The team also says the city needs to increase its staffing in its housing departments. A planning director would be able to hire and prioritize a housing-focused team. There will be interviews for director this Friday. In Spokane, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Well, you probably already gotten the sniffles this year. It is peak cold season right now. So can that stop you from getting your COVID shot? We'll verify coming up next.
And a little later tonight, Spokane has a UFC champion. We chatted tonight with the winner about her epic matchup from Friday and Saturday.